Okay, hi second graders. Today we are looking at lesson 3-7. They're going to ask us to practice adding by using strategies, different strategies. We're going to have a variety of them today. And our page number is 159. So if you need to grab your book, find page 159. You can pause the video now. You guys know the drill. And I'm going to go ahead and share my workspace with you. I have Emily here on this page. There's some pattern blocks that she has around her, or maybe those are tanagram blocks. Yeah. And we're looking at lesson 3-7, page 159. And I'm going to go ahead and read the story that Emily is telling, and you can follow in your book. Tamika has 39 blocks. Kim has 43 blocks. How many blocks do they have in all? Choose any strategy. Solve, show, and explain your work. Okay, so let's start by identifying our important information, and then we'll talk about the directions. So we know that Tamika has 39 blocks, and we know that Kim has 43 blocks. The question is, how many blocks do they have in all? Those are keywords for us, right? They tell us we're going to be adding. And then we're asked to choose any strategy and solve, show and explain our work. Okay, so we, in our yellow spirals, we look at several strategies when we're adding two-digit numbers. So I want you to think about some of those strategies first. We have compensation. We have breaking apart numbers. We can break apart both numbers, or we could just break apart the second add-in, right? It's another strategy. We've looked at showing with base 10 blocks. So that's another strategy that we can use. Think about, open number line. That's another one, right? We also, I know many of you have used the lining up strategy where you line up the tens and the ones place. So we haven't talked about that yet in our book, but we will be. So you have many, many strategies in your own sort of math toolkit right now that you can pull out and think about in your minds which way you like to solve best. So you're going to be using any strategy you want today, which means what I model in the book might not be the same that you do in your book, and that's okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start by modeling breaking apart numbers and compensation. I'm going to do both. And what I'm going to do here is cut this box in half. Now, again, if you would like to model both, that's wonderful. You can do the same. If you want to stick to just one or the other, you can do that too. One idea is for you to go ahead and pause the video now, do your strategy, and then we can come back and we can look at it. Okay, so if you would like to try it on your own first, go ahead and pause the video. And now I'm going to come back and I'm going to do those strategies with you. So I'm going to start with the breaking apart. And I'm going to go ahead and put up here 43 plus 39 equals something. Okay. Now you can break apart both numbers, or you can just break apart the second add-in, right? I think that I will break apart both numbers for my modeling. So 43 breaks apart into 40 and 3, and 39 breaks apart into 30 and 9. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my tens. 40 plus 30 equals 70. So I've taken care of my tens. I'm going to cross those out just to kind of help me stay organized. And now I'm going to move my attention to my ones, and I see I have 3 and 9. 3 plus 9 equals, if you're not sure, you can scoop up the bigger number, 9, and count on 3 more. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so now I have these two sums that I need to add together. 70 plus 12. My brain loves adding with tens, right? 70 plus 12, well, that would be 7 tens are here, and 12 is 1 10 and 2 ones. So altogether, I would have 8 10s, right? Plus 2 1s. That would give me 82. Now, if that's challenging to visualize because it's still new, you can draw it out too. So 70 looks like this: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And 12 looks like this: 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I have 8 10s and 2 1s, 82. So my sum is 82. All right, so that's one strategy that you might have done. Another strategy you may have done is compensation. You may have done another one like an open number line or base 10 blocks, right? We kind of incorporated that into here. That's okay too. But I'm going to go ahead and model this for you just so we can look at it together. 43 plus 39 equals something. Okay, now normally what we've been doing as we've been practicing is making this first number into a 10, right? And you can do that, but I'm noticing that this 39, that 39 is already really close to a 10, isn't it? I mean, it's just one away from a 10. 39 is really close to 40. So I'm going to go ahead and just add 1 to 39. I'm going to add 1 there because I know if I add 1, I'm going to get to 40. Now to compensate, if I add 1 to this add-in, what do I have to do to this add-in? That's right, I have to take 1 away. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put a big line going underneath, right? And now I'm going to solve from top to bottom. So 43 take away 1 gives me 42. And 39 plus 1 gives me 40. And then I'm just going to bring down my addition sign. And now I have a problem that's much easier for my brain to solve: 42 plus 40. Now again, you may be able to do this just in your head and visualize 40 is 4 10s and 2 1s, and then 42 is 4 10s and 2 1s, and then 40 is just 4 10s. But if you need a more of a concrete picture, you can draw it down here. So 42, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 2 1s, and then 40, 10, 20, 30, 40. There we go. So I see I have 8 10s all together, right? 4 here and 4 here gives me 8 10s. So that's 80, 81, 82. 82. And look at that, guys. We got the same answer, right? With both of those different strategies. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see with your pants there. 82. Okay? All right, so you may have done a different strategy, and that's okay. If you got 82, you know your answer is correct. So altogether, the two have 82 blocks. Carlos and no, I'm sorry, Tamika and Kim. Sorry, Tamika and Kim. Okay, so let's go ahead now. If you need any more time with this, you can go ahead and pause. But we're going to go ahead and look now at the next page. We have Emily here at the top. She's asking us to find 66 plus 25. Find 66 plus 25. And she says, you can break apart numbers or use compensation. Oh, look at that. She's using the same two strategies we did. So here's one way. She's going to start by breaking apart. She's going to break apart 25 into 20 and 5. So in her breaking apart, she's keeping that same add-in whole, the first add-in, and then she's just breaking apart the second add-in. So 25 breaks apart into 20 and 5, and then she just brought down that 66. She just brought it down. And now she has 66 plus 20 plus 5. So if you can visualize in your head what 66 looks like, right? We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there's 66. And to that, I'm adding 20. So here's 66, and I'm going to add 2 more rods, right? My ones didn't change at all yet. So now I have 86. So she puts 86 here, right? Plus 5 more. Well, this is easy to just scoop up that 86 and count on 5 more. So let's do that together. 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. And there I have 91. Okay, so my final sum is 91. Another way to do it is compensation. She says you can use compensation. Here I have 66 plus 25, that same equation. She's noticing what we noticed, which is that second add-in is kind of easier to make a 10. And she noticed that same thing. So she said, hey, I know 25 plus 5 more is going to give me 30, right? So she started there and she added 5 to that 25. And then to compensate, she subtracted 5 from the other add-in, 66. Now, what we do, boys and girls, that they don't do in the book, I know, but we do it. We put a big line right under where we compensate, right? That's our special step. And now we are going to add and subtract from top to bottom. So I have 66 take away 5, and that gave her 61. And 25 plus 5 gave her 30. So now she has 61 plus 30. You can visualize that in your head as 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, plus one more, right? 61. And then 30 is 10, 20, 30. Notice my ones aren't changing at all, right? I don't add any other ones. I'm just adding on 3 rods. So now I have 9 rods altogether, plus 1 gives me 91. Look at that. It's the same sum, right? Okay. So she says you get the same answer both ways. So 66 plus 25 equals 91. Okay. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and look at the guided practice. It's asking us to find each sum. Look at this, guys. Use any strategy. Show your work. Okay, so we're being asked to first find each sum. Okay, so we know we're going to be adding because they're all sums. That's nice. Use any strategy. You might try breaking apart. You might try compensation. You might be drawing base 10 blocks. You might use an open number line. Okay, any strategy that you want. But here's the thing, guys. They want you to show your work. Okay, so if you are using an open number line, you need to draw that out. If you are using breaking apart, you need to show how you're breaking apart the numbers. If you're using compensation, you need to show what you're adding and subtracting from each added. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at number 1 together. We have 14 plus 32 equals something. So they did breaking apart, but notice they didn't break apart both add-ins. They only did the second add-in. So this 14, they just brought it straight down. Okay, so I'm going to write that out, 14. You can do that too in your book. 32, they did break apart. So my 3 represents 30, right? And we usually put a circle around it. And then that 2 represents just 2 because it's in the ones place. So we usually put a circle around it. So now they have 14 plus 30 plus 2. All right. So if I'm visualizing that in my head, I know I have 3 rods here for 30, right? And 1 rod here for 14 plus 4 more. So that would look like this. 14 is 1 rod and 4 ones. 30 is 3 rods. 10, 20, 30. Okay, so now I have 4 rods and 4 ones. So that's 44. And 2 more. 44, 45, 46. Right? 44 plus 2 more. That's what we did here. Equals 46. All right, so 14 plus 32 gives us 46. All right, let's look at number 2. 67 plus 26 equals something. All right, what strategy should we use, guys? Well, we used breaking apart here. So we can use compensation here, right? And show an example of each. Let's try that. So I have 67 plus 26. I'm going to write that out so I can have my space a little bit more laid out the way I want it. All right. And 67 is very close actually to a 10. right? So let's see how much more we need to get. We need to add to make a 10. 67, 68, 69, 70. I'm at a 10. I added 3 more. So I'm going to go ahead and put plus 3 here. And I know to compensate, I need to take 3 away from my other add-in. And then I'm going to put a big line underneath. All right, now I'm all set up. I'm going to solve from top to bottom now. 67 plus 3, we just said, gives us 70. And 26 take away 3. So I can just count backwards. 26, 25, 24, 23. And I'm going to go ahead and bring my plus sign down. So 70 plus 23. What would that look like visually? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Right? Plus 23. 10, 20. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I have 7 tens here and 2 tens there. So I have 9 tens altogether, plus 3 more. 93, right? So 67 plus 26 equals 93. All right, you might choose to do a different strategy there. That's okay. Okay, all right, so let's look at the independent practice for today. I'll check one thing here. Yeah, okay, independent practice for today is asking you to find each sum, use any strategy, show your work. Okay, 3 things: finding the sum, using a strategy, and showing our work. Okay, so for today, guys, for today, I only want you to do numbers 3. So go ahead and circle them. Do number 3, do number 4, do number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8. I only want you to do those for today. All right, and then tomorrow we'll work on another set of problems. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pause that for today, and I would like you to try and use some different strategies, because you're going to notice as you start using different strategies, there's going to be some that you prefer more than others, and we want to figure out which strategies we prefer. So try a little bit of this compensation, try a little bit of breaking apart numbers. You can even try an open number line, or drawing out the tens and ones. That's, one you can do too. So try different strategies and see which one you like best. And then I would love to hear from you next time we meet about which strategy you found was your favorite. Okay? All right. So today, just 3 through 8. If you have any questions, reach out. I'm here, and we'll talk soon. Okay? All right, guys. Have a good day. Bye.